ago or something like that.
I'm sure it was a good reason because you're steady as a rock otherwise. So.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad to hear that.
All right, keeping things moving. We head to not the soul or heart or I don't know heel of the Midland, but we are going to Magical Medina, where the one and only Madam Mic Drop herself. There's so many M's that come with this. Madam Mic Drop, Magical Medina. Too bad her name doesn't start with an M, but it is Ivana Taylor.
Hi, everyone. Hello from Rock City. Good to see you all.
Rock City. You know, that just sounds good. I know it's short for rock and roll, but I actually like Rock City better than Rock and Roll City. Rock City sounds tough. Is Medina tough? Yeah, that's what I thought.
I don't know if Medina's tough exactly, but we Cleveland rocks.
Ivana is malt liquor tough. That's all I'll say. That's all I'm going to say on that one. As we move further east to the nation's capital, once again, the one and only Shashi Belamkanda.
Hey, everybody. Good to see you all. Hello from the nation's capital.
Did you have to have a jackhammer or did you have a hard hat walking around the last couple of days? You know, a little construction going on at some houses out there. No, okay.
Yeah, totally. Usually they kind of put barriers so nobody sees what's happening, but apparently that wasn't enough this time.
Well, all I can say is you probably got that invitation to the party at the White House in the East office. That don't go. It's probably not a good time to go. Anyway, moving even further to the East. I always forget what the hell capital of the world this is when it comes to some subject matter. But the person who always remembers it and is proud to always say it every week, Ramon Ray is here.
Vacation capital of the world. Excited to be here, Brent, Larry, Leland, Ivana, and Shashi. And I think we all should stop worrying so much about jackhammers and reconstruction of the White House. It's been done in the past. It'll be done in the future. And I think making a political big thing about it on the Small Biz Rundown, I think, is just horrible. I'm offended. I'm shocked. I'm shocked that we're even going there.
You're shocked and offended. Okay. Let me ask you one question before we bring our last and least person.
Want to ask me, Brent?
When was the last time the White House actually had demo done to it? Do you know when that
it was a president whose name I don't remember, like the old school president. Like
it was from the 1860s. Okay, I'm just saying. But anyway, we'll move on. We don't want to talk about that stuff.
It's good to see you too, Brent.
It's always good to see. And you know what? I would like to say this about our last.
Come on, Brent. You can do it.
But he is the cold one. Some call him the bold one. It feels like a rising group of people are kind of calling him the old one. It is John Colder Ice Lawson.
Hey.
What's up, John?
What's up?
What's
up, everyone, and Brent?
Yeah, I knew that was coming. What's that on your jacket?
That is the Louisville Boxing Club, owned by my brother and founded by my dad.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
I want to hear about that at some point.
Really?
And John, who am I to correct you of the name of your family's thingamajiggy there? But is it not Louisville? Is it really Louisville? Or is it Louisville?
No, this is Louisville.
Oh, okay.
This
it
one's
depends on where
Louis.
you're at.
L-E-W.
Oh, I can't see that. Okay, got it.
Yeah, so this is Louisville, Texas.
Oh, okay.
Texas. All right.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's really cool. I'm not even going to try to make fun of that. That's
No,
really
you better
cool.
not. I'll come box you.
I definitely wouldn't want
Like
that.
one of them Bugs Bunny videos.
Let's press on. All right. So it once again, it seems like it's been a year for all the stuff that's happened, but it's only been a week. I'm just gonna point out like just the couple of highlight or lights. I don't know if they're high or low or whatever. But we did get some new inflation numbers in, I think it was just today. I think it was. Inflation rate hit 3% in September, but it was lower than expected. So that's why you see the stock market going up 600 points today. I took a look at my my investment thing, and I have to say I'm feeling pretty good about that part. I have no problems with what's going on when it comes to the stock market now. I don't think the tariff situation has really kicked in yet, which is kind of interesting. Maybe it's starting to kick in a little bit, but I don't think it's kicked in full force yet. The other thing, I don't know if you've seen this, but I see a number of companies announcing layoffs. I don't know if you guys have seen some of these things. Like I think Target was the last one that said they're going to lay off about 1,000 folks, and another layoffs are coming. So inflation is up, but less than expected. We're starting to see more and more kind of layoffs, mass layoffs go on. I don't know how that figures into things right now, but and yet I don't know. Does anything feel different to you this week from last week? Whoever wants to jump in.
Hey, Brent, I'll jump in. My question to you, Brent, if I may, I know asking the host a question is not probably informed, but I'm going to ask the question. I assume, Brent, you talk a lot about financing and investments and things of this nature, which I need to do better at, but I'm assuming you are astute or an enthusiast. My point being, you are looking at this long term, correct? As most astute investors would be. I know we talk about it week by week, but for you, is it not that you're looking at, and correct me if I'm wrong, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and then as you head into the sunset, when you turn 70 or 80, you will take that wealth and live off of it and die. So is it not that you're looking at it on the long term, any of these things, even though this is a weekly show? But for Brent Leary, my question is, do you not look at this more long term?
I definitely look at it long term, because over time, if you put money into the stock market or almost anything, if you invest in almost anything other than like cars and stuff, because that's not an investment, that's a downright cost. That as soon as you drive the car off the lot, it's worth 20% less. But if you buy houses, if you buy gold, if you buy bonds, if you buy stock, it tends to go up over time. 5 years, 20 years, 30 years, it usually goes up. Now, like you were saying, in those like week to week, day to day, it's too damn volatile to really guess at where things are going if you have that short of a timeline. But if you have a pretty long timeline, even those like John who still have years to go, you can still invest. I mean, you can still invest and keep it in there for a while. I mean, how long have you been in Bitcoin, John?
17.
17 years.
Right here.
No,
And-
20. Wait. Yes.
So
Even before, like when Coinbase launched, right? As soon as I could do the easy thing.
By the way, shout out to Pierre for joining.
Pierre's amazing. Pierre, thanks for being here. Pierre, streaming in on my Facebook, probably not Shashi's IG, but thanks, Pierre, for being here.
You know what? You know who filled in for you last week?
Who was that?
Pierre.
Pierre.
You just had to keep the racial quota up. Huh?
What?
Yes.
Oh
absolutely.
my God. As you were saying, even you left even a speechless. Okay, I guess we'll move on to but anyway, yeah, over the longer your time horizon is, the more you're likely going to make money. Now, some things you're going to make a lot more money in because they're a lot more riskier. And some things you're going to downright like I'll be the first one to say I bought Cisco like in the late 90s. It literally is about the same as it was back then.
Mm-hmm.
Now, on the flip side, I bought Nvidia less than 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It is 10x since I bought it.
Wow.
So you just don't know. But if over time, typically, like most of the stuff I bought over time has gone up. Not as much as that, but it's going up.
You invested in the wrong Cisco. You wanted the food company,
Yeah,
not the networking company.
Come on, Leland. SYSCO.
yeah, the SYS. Damn it. I knew I should have gone to English class. Anyway. All right. So who else wants to go next?
I mean, just wanted to answer Ramon's question, even though he didn't ask me. One of the things to do to make it a little bit more safer is things like intelligent portfolios, which means you tell them what your risk tolerance is, and they will adjust buying and selling accordingly.
Yeah.
Of course, it's not guaranteed, but it's much better than putting money in the bank or otherwise. and it keeps, like, my kids did that from the beginning, all their pocket money and everything. And now when in the past 10 years, when I look at their portfolio, it seems like they have a good chunk of change. If that
Nice.
makes sense.
I think it's important. Yeah, that's a good. It's always important because I don't follow most of that stuff I'm invested in day to day. Yeah, you get a company that manages that stuff. So because if you tried to manage all that stuff day to day, you'd be in a terrible, day to day. You might want to jump off a cliff one day, go out and buy a car the other. You don't want to live like that. At least I don't want to live like that. So I keep an eye on it, but I don't, and also. I'm not going to mention who I use, but I would say if you get a good financial advisor, they're going to have a team behind them that is informing them on what you should be looking at or what you should do, and also make sure that your portfolio is not overweighted too much, because one stock might do great and it looks like you're doing great. Your portfolio looks like, and if somebody says something bad about that stock, it goes down 50% and you're overweighted. Well, guess what? Your portfolio is going to get killed. So yeah, go to a good professional. I'm not one. I just watch my own stuff. I don't give nobody any damn advice. So
I wouldn't take any damn advice from him either. So get a good.
That's why he'll be working till he's 80.
Well, to that point, these days they have a lot of great products that are industry focused. So, the best advice you can get or give is get into well-diversified investments, but in areas that you know and understand. You hear Brent talk about NVIDIA. You hear, want to be invested in something that you understand and know about.
Yes.
You don't want to be like invested in something that, some industry or something that you're very unfamiliar with. Like, I'm not familiar with oil and gas. I know very little about that. So I try, and then of course, another thing you can do is invest in things that match your values. I've heard now that there are actually sort of value-based funds. Again, this is not my area of expertise. These are things I've heard. If that interests you, ask your expert.
Yeah. And even there are things that I feel more comfortable about saying, oh, I want that. I want you to get me that. But like you, there's so many other things that I am not comfortable with making a call, but that's what they're for. They have investment research and all that. And they tell you, they present it to you and you say, all right, go ahead and do that. Or nah, I don't want to do that right now. I mean, it's really good because you don't have to try to think like you have to know it all.
Right.
And because nobody does.
My husband's a great example. My husband is a formulations chemist. He has lots of patents, and he's an expert in the area of polyurethane, like insulation and plastics and these types of things. Like, he's a chemist, right? So he looks at his industry and he's like, I'm interested in this, like, these are things that I see in my daily life. They're like areas, right? He's not an investment expert. What does he do? He goes to his advisor and he's like, look, these are things I'm seeing. What would you recommend? And and what research do you have? And then these people go off and do research, and then they come back and they're like, this thing that you said, this is, you're spot on. And we have well-diversified funds for something like that. So like, I think it's important to not be on your own, but to use your expertise in a focused way.
Right. And I blame this whole off ramp on Ramon Ray because he asked me this question.
I thought it was a great question. I think it's definitely something worth talking about. Like, I remember during the 2008 crash, which is almost 20 years ago, right?
Wow.
I literally I knew that I was like 10 or 15 years from retirement. And I was like, I'm not exiting and I'm not looking at my reports.
Yeah, don't touch
They would come in and I would throw them out. I don't think this is good advice. I don't know, but it would make me upset and cause me to think that I wanted to do something. And I already knew that the smart thing to do was not to do anything at this time.
Don't do anything.
Right.
That's financial advice.
And that happened to my mother-in-law. She became a widow. She lost her parents pretty quick, right at one after another. Came in with a huge chunk of change because of both, and invested it right before 2008. And
Mm.
so going along, and then bam, and she was told it was all gone. But then years later, like the investment lady, because she didn't do anything, she didn't like pull the money or anything like that. The investment lady just kept it there, and it
okay.
kept growing and growing and growing and growing. And then she got a delightful little call, and this is why we got to move out and not support her. But she got a nice little call from her finance lady. It was like, okay, I think we could start talking about your retirement. This is how much you're going to get from your investments. And she's like, I thought that was all gone. Well, it grew back over time. And so that, listen to those investment people. But
You know what?
and
All I had to say to that is that investment, if they told her it was all gone, like, and made her go through all that without explaining, we haven't sold anything yet, it's just paper to us. That's kind of cruel, if you ask me. But
it was very heartbreaking for her.
Yeah.
But that is the risk of doing, because it wasn't just I put it into the S&P 500 or I put it into the Dow. It was an actual investment. It's what you're talking about, buying individual stocks and stuff like that. And so that's why she thought it was just all gone. It wasn't like a 401k or IRA or anything like that. And so that is the risk. I mean, if you invest in a company that all of a sudden just goes belly up, it is all gone. All that money is just it's gone. It's the same thing with Enron. The company went down and out, and everyone lost basically their retirement. And so that does throw in the risk. And so you can go risk adverse and kind of be into the S&P 500, into the Dow, which even if there are going to be dips, they're usually really stable companies, and you're not going to be out if there's a dip.
Any more before we ask each of you to give us what your week was? Going once, going twice.
Hold.
Okay, hold. That's all right. There he is. Well, speaking of hold, why don't you hold this moment and give us your take on this week?
This week. I don't know. Look, like you saying about investing, I don't live day to day. I live year to year. So we can talk about the year, but week to week, man, I would be all over the place because it's just always something going on. So
that is certainly true. And we always try to make sure we don't talk about things that really aren't too far out the purview of small business and individuals.
We try.
Yeah, we try. All right. Who do you want to go next?
Leland.
Yeah, I agree with John.
What? Wait a minute. What?
Look.
We got that recording.
Let's not, week after week. And yeah, we're in the thick of it right now because there's a government shutdown. And so there's going to be a lot of doom and gloom talk because, oh no, the government shut down. This is the end of the world. But for the average small business owner, it's not going to affect them all that much. The average person in the world or in the nation is, especially lower income. We have some issues with the SNAP payments not being able to go out, and so it's hurting. It's hurting a lot of people, and so yeah, these people in the nation, in the capital, they need to get their butts in gear and pass the continuing resolution and get people paid. So we're in the thick of it, but you can't live week to week. It's not like we don't have talks about recession. We don't have talks about like massive 10% inflation. Yeah, inflation's gone up a little bit, and it is just a little bit, and we're not seeing what we've seen even within like recent years, what happened in 2021 and all of that. Nowhere even near that. So yeah, there's always going to be bad signs, but there's also good signs here and there too. So you got to take the good with the bad and form your whole picture.
And your picture forms to going to whom?
Ramon.
Yeah, thank you, Leland. I think that my week, Brent, I will pull on that thread a bit. I think what I'm in is, I may have said it before, in a season of just realizing that for my own small business is that AI can control the destiny to a large degree in this season. You know, we don't have wildfires around us as people have suffered, or catastrophes like that. So I can control my destiny too. Thinking farther ahead, you know, the six of us here in a similar-ish industry-ish to some degree, especially myself, Leland, even John and I to some degree, you and Josh, your analysts. So I think looking farther ahead is that, hey, I know next year I'm going to be at this big impactful event. Why am I waiting to the week before or the month before to talk about it? Let me plan for it a year ahead. Let me have the conversation so far ahead to have myself in a bigger position. So for me, that's what I'm realizing it is. And I was at an amazing event called Excel Summit for Men, 400, 500 happened to be Black men by Black Enterprise. So Brent and team here, family, that was interesting just to be there to hear the conversations of billionaires. John Hope Bryant, billionaire. John Roberts, I think, the gentleman who gave $30 million to an HBCU. So those conversations were interesting.
That Robert Smith?
Yes, Robert Smith. Thank you. Yes,
okay.
Robert Smith. Yeah. So it's different in landed here is that last year they had the event after President Trump's election, and it was just different vibe in the room. This year they're having it a year after the election, as it were, and the messaging is we just have to move forward. We just have to pull ourselves up. And part of it, John Hope Brent gave a master class about investing. All the stuff you're saying, he talked about that. He said, forget racism, DEI, all the stuff that could be important to us. Y'all people, he can say it, y'all people, you just need to get smarter, invest your money, and make a difference. So back to you, Brent, or I can tag somebody. Hope that was helpful.
Yo, pass it on.
You know what, Shashi, let's go for it, man. Did you go already, or was that John missing? I'm kind of mixed up.
We kind of went all over the back.
We look very similar.
Shashi, take it again, Shashi. Take it again. How was your week? How was the White House coming along? I do want to see pictures of that and see how pictures of the new ballroom is coming. But beyond that, please, I couldn't help it, Brent. Please let me know, Shashi.
Yeah, I think I take Leland's point that one of the things that the US is known for is my economy is my own. It's individual. I can do what I want. I can prosper. It should not depend on anything. I think that has changed. And that's why I think people are a little worried about like, hey, I don't understand this. I'm a small business owner. Nothing should affect me, but I don't know what to expect. So a little bit of regularity and a little bit of predictability will be good for the economy. And this has to come again. I think we talked about this in terms of messaging. What is it that we want to achieve and how? Everybody understands like we have too much of debt, we need to reduce it. Everybody understands that we have to bring back manufacturing, a little bit more equality, which is actually a big problem now. I mean, one would think no matter what your profession is, you will still have a comfortable life is no longer true. So my week was full of just saying like, hey, let me be an ostrich and bury my head into the ground and wait till all of this finishes. And hopefully something bright will come at the end of, I don't know, whatever time period. But you're right, like on one hand, we have like inflation price is good, stocks are going up. Restaurants in DC are empty because nobody is coming there. One thing that will come out of this, which came during the 2008 economic downfall, is people will start saving for a rainy day. There was a time period where everybody thought like, hey, everything is really great. Let's spend all our money with this revenge tourism, revenge spending. I think we'll go back to being a little conservative, which will affect the transactions in the economy again. Over to you, Ivana.
Well, I have a personal story where I have contributed to our local economy. My washer from 2011 decided to leak and bust a circuit board. And that meant that I had to replace a washer. And this is a lesson for small business owners because the tariffs have hit. As it turns out, the washers that are in the warehouse today that are in that private small business owner store. So that's number one. Prices are up. I knew this was going to be approximately 10% more expensive than, let's say, Home Depot or like a big box store. I know this, right? Did I choose on price? What do you guys think? I did not. I went to a local small business appliance store. And I paid. Now, here's another thing. They are running Black Friday deals right now. So when I went in there, the retail price for this washer was supposed to be $1,200. You know, freaking marketing people, I had to buy the dryer too, because I have a 2011 dryer and the dimensions are different. It's high, it's wide, it's going to be like a big old mess in my laundry room. And I just made the decision to literally buy both a washer and a dryer. But it was at a really good discount. I'd say maybe 34. So let's say if it was like $1,300, I got it for like 800-ish, right? So for each one. The lesson for small businesses is I chose that small business because the sales guy was incredibly knowledgeable about each and every item in that store. He listened to me. He helped me make trade-offs between, features and different things so that I can purchase what was right for me. He was commission only. So that says something for your, if you have a store that is, employee costs and so on and so forth. The other reason I chose them, so he spent time with me. He was really knowledgeable. And lastly, they controlled the entire process, meaning from the delivery to my house, the installer. I know that come Tuesday, they're going to get I'm going to have a washer and dryer, and the old one will be gone. Right. So the lesson here for my week, I was kind of like hopeful. And I think I wrote about it on DIYmarketers.com, where I basically said loyalty and trust and these soft things go way beyond your price. Please don't think you have to compete on price. As a small business owner, you control the customer experience. You control how you engage with that customer, how you help them. And those things are priceless. You could not give me a machine from Home Depot or Lowe's to have those guys show up and not know what to do. It's very scary if you have had unqualified installers in your home dealing with plumbing, which I have had. That is like not worth it to me. I want to go through the process. I want my product. I want my service. And if any, and like little things, he was like, oh, by the way, get this. Before you make your purchase, please go home and measure your doors so that we can get the machine in. We know that it's going to fit through the door. Like these are like little subtle things that you may not think of as a small business that I think are really, really powerful ways to compete and make money, which this group is going to do.
That makes me feel terrible because I too just had to go and buy a washer and dryer. Mine, at least it was from 1999, so I did get my money's worth out of it. But you want to ask me where I went even to get mine?
Where'd you go?
Costco.
Lowe's.
Uh-huh.
The same company you just mentioned, Lowe's. I just felt I needed to say that. Anyway, let's move on.
Hey, before we move on, can we just give like a round of applause? Even I must say, we all profess to be in the SMB world in some way or another, but you live it, even. I mean, listen, I go to Lowe's and Home Depot's in a problem. Jenny Craig, little Jenny, mini me says, hey, buy my washer. Sorry, little Jenny, I'm not going to do it. But you're like, no, we'll go to, Pookie down the corner and get my washer, or, Jemima up the street and buy your house.
Coming up with these names.
So
no, Ramon, you know what?
I'm proud of you, even.
No. Some people, I would not consider myself an activist. I do consider myself. Can
you just say thank you first? I just gave you a compliment, and you kind of wait. You embarrassed me. Like I'm trying to, but you know what I'm saying? Just pause and say thank you, and then throw back in my face.
Okay, thank you, Ramon.
Okay.
And I want you to know that this has been a long time coming. And I do still buy from Amazon, even though it breaks my heart, right? But whenever I can, I do have what would I call real customer reasons for making that choice. It is not just because I'm a small business advocate. I wouldn't go so far, when I can choose a small business, I will choose a small business, but I will not choose a small business. For example, that very same store about 10 years ago had the rudest salesperson in there. I would not go in there. Again, they were so rude to my mother and to myself.
Oh, that's even worse.
I was very upset. And I'm like, I'm not buying anything from you guys ever again. Until the people from Home Depot or whatever tried to, I was beside myself of how scary and incompetent they were. And I ended up paying about the same. So I think I'm not just paying extra to support small business. I'm making what I consider to be the lowest total cost, highest value received decision. And I think that you reminded me, Ramon, thank you, that it's not just like I'm going to buy from a small business because that money stays in my county. 30% of that money gets spent in my city. And those taxes go towards my school. This is like all that. I don't think we talk enough, and even in whether it's a political conversation or an economic conversation, I don't think we consider how interconnected so many things are.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
But it still comes down to customer experience.
Yep.
Hey, did you pinch the guy and make sure he's a live person and not an AI?
Yeah, right? Oh, no. You guys, this is the other thing you're going to get at a local business. I kid you not. This guy looked like a biker dude, okay? Had the beard, had like what you think of a biker dude. This is what I'm talking about, like 60-ish, right? Biker dude.
Okay.
Brent, you're going to get a lot of emails from bikers now.
I don't know. Is that a bad thing to say, biker dude?
No.
He looks like a biker dude.
I don't
Well,
think so.
I'm going to say this because he told me that he had a 20-some-year career in film and television.
Wow.
All because of
He
the fact
looked like
that he
a
looks
biker
like a
dude.
biker dude.
Yeah. By the way, before we can go any further, Ramon, I'm gonna need you to say you're welcome to Ivana since she thanked you for something. So
Ivana, thank you. You're welcome, Ivana. I appreciate you so much. Without
I
you,
love you,
Ivana,
Ramon.
the show wouldn't even be the same. You bring a special voice to the conversation. Are you happy, Brent? Is that enough?
that's just sufficient enough. Okay. Pierre says, I've done the analytics. Biker dude is trending. There it is. Very nice.
Hey, Pierre.
Very nice. Pierre is always in there with us on this thing. All right. Man, that intro was the longest 37. All right. Because I actually do have a little
Quiz.
trivia thingy.
Okay.
Because I know even it just wouldn't feel right if we didn't have one of those. So this is coming from one of my favorite magazines, The Economist, and they had a survey or commissioned a survey of lots of people over, and this is a UK-based survey, so it's not Americans. But which generation clocks the most daily screen time? Is it Gen Alpha? Is it Gen Z? Is it millennials? Is it Gen X? Is it the baby boomers? Is there anybody before the baby boomers still? I guess there are some folks that are over 100.
The greatest generation.
Yeah, the greatest
that's what they call it.
generation. Yeah, the greatest. Thanks, Tom Brokaw. The greatest generation. So, which one of them generations clocks the most daily screen time?
60 to 80. I don't know what thing puts y'all help me, but it's like an older-ish person. 60 to 80 clocks the most is my vote. I don't know what that is.
So that's like baby boomers.
Those
I
are
guess, right?
boomers.
Yeah. Well,
And
John, you represent that, so that's good to know. All right. Oh, look at Pierre. Pierre is coming in with Gen Z. All right. So we got Ramon saying baby boomers. We got Pierre saying Gen Z. Who else wants to chime in?
I'm gonna be an alpha.
Oh,
think
wow.
alpha.
Okay. Alpha. Okay.
Oh
So
my
we got
God.
Alpha, we got baby boomers, we got Gen Z.
Shashi's probably read this already, and he knows.
No, but I'm still saying alpha.
You're staying alpha?
I like how you pretend, Shashi, that you haven't. Oh, no, I haven't. No, Brent. Oh, Brent, what is it? And he's probably got the freaking like economist sitting on his desk with a cup of hot chai. I mean, really.
I love The Economist, even though because of inflation, I stopped my subscription this year.
Yeah, I got a deal, Shashi. You always got to be on the lookout for them deals. So,
Yeah.
anybody gonna go with the millennial? Anybody gonna
Yeah,
go?
I said
Yeah.
millennials.
Oh, you did say millennial. Okay, so
I'm gonna go with the Xers only because I don't know.
They're the last one left. So each of you guys went for. I love this. There is no repeats. All right.
No, Shashi and me went alpha.
Oh, okay, Shashi. All right, okay. All right, so let's see which generation clocks the most daily screen time. Now, you notice I said screens, and not necessarily like, TV or device or whatever. Now, the company, the research from Ofcom, which is the one that works with the economist folks over there, found that last year Britons over 65
Yep.
spent more than 3 hours a day online on smartphones, computers, and tablets. But that's only half as much as those aged 18 to 24, which I think those are the millennials, right? Or is that the Gen Alpha?
That's Z, I think.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. That's Gen Z. You're right.
Is that Z? Wow, my son's a Z. He's 25. I guess that's close enough.
But
I'm a millennial, so
you're
barely, but I'm a millennial.
He's hanging on to that millennial. All right, but combining TV and smart devices, because they all have screens.
Mm-hmm.
Those of retirement age clock up more daily screen time than do young adults. So Ramon was the winner.
I love it. Thank you.
That's how I read it. Brent, screen time, and I was thinking the Z's. That's why I was torn on X's, because everyone's working. If they are on a screen, they're not because they're on a screen voluntarily. Right.
Yeah. X millennials, they're in the height, and Generation Z is getting into that. And pretty much all of Generation Z is in the workforce or in college.
Yeah.
Gen Alpha is still kind of like 2 or something like that through like high school, like middle high school or late high school. So yeah, I could see all this.
Man. Well, I mean, if you really think about it, those folks are retired. What do they got to do?
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's almost like there's a difference between what I would consider voluntary discretionary screen time versus forced screen time at work. Just like, are they counting time at work?
I don't think they're counting time at work. Yeah, I don't think so. All right. Well, that was interesting. Okay. So I just got back from Half Moon Bay, California, which is really oh man, it's right off the edge of the Pacific. Literally, the edge. Go off the edge. You're in the Pacific. For my buddy Ray Wong's, what's he call it? CCE Constellation. Yeah, Constellation Connected Enterprise Conference. Year 15 is 15th year. So me and my partner, the venerable Paul Greenberg, we were there doing some CRM players sessions, and guess who was one of the sponsors of the conference? Zoho. So I got a chance to hang out with some Zoho folks, and I'm sure of course, Tejas Gaja, and I met a new. Well, he's not new, but new to me. Samir, I can't even remember his last name because we just kept calling him Samir. But anyway, I had a chance to sit down and record a little something with them. And I asked them a question because Zoho deals with the smallest of the small companies all the way up to big, large enterprises. And I asked them, what's the different mindsets between your small business customers and your enterprise customers when it comes to 2 letters? Can you guess what those 2 letters are?
AI.
Ding, 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 ding. You're right. So I want to play a little piece of what they had to say, and I want to see what you guys thought of what they said after this. Here we go.
Tell us how the
I
conversation
hate this.
around AI
I
is
really
different
hate this.
from the small customers to the
Let me
enterprise
start
customers.
this over
How
again.
they
Brent,
view it,
breathe,
how
breathe,
different
Brent.
it
It's okay. Breathe.
I hate StreamYard. All right, here we go.
Tell us how the conversation around AI is different from the small customers to the enterprise customers. How do they view it? How different is it?
I think both are clueless. Or pretty much everyone's clueless at the end of the day. I would say enterprises are probably pushing a little bit more, probably from pressure from above. But I think risk, security, governance, compliance, all those factors play a much bigger role. So as much as they want to be AI forward, I don't know if it's necessarily for productivity gains. It seems like more like trying to be more cost efficient is kind of a larger company's goal of AI, generally speaking. Not all the time, just depends on the organization. A smaller company, generally, I feel like they're kind of left out. A lot of the content you see around AI stuff, most of it is generally consumer stuff that we kind of like play around with and you see online. Then when you look at it in the business context, it's almost never in a SMB or even a mid-market kind of explanation. It's, are you going to partner with this big LLM company and set up all your information and digitize it and have a bot that helps you answer everything? Like that's not smaller companies don't feel like that's attainable for them. So I think smaller companies are a little bit more interested. They're more risk on. They're willing to try and leverage new technologies, but there's just not a lot of relatable content for these guys out there. And so I feel like they struggle a little bit in that direction.
All right. Whoever wants to go, what do you think of what he said?
It makes sense to me. I mean, Tage is a smart guy, and I think that he's of course at the forefront, at the pinnacle of seeing all this stuff. He's with Zoho, so I think that yes, for us smaller businesses, even as content DIY, what Leland's doing with SBT and what I'm doing, Zone of Genius, I think we push the hacks and tools and tips and all that. But enterprises, larger companies, you just got to get in there and do it. I mean, I was interviewing two different people, one Zoho getting in the enterprise space, one Salesforce enterprise space. It's just a different conversation. They're not into the tools and hacks and tips. And, they're talking about multi-million-dollar, hundreds of $1,000s of implementation. And it took 8 weeks to preview this, or 2 years we were analyzing this. It's just a different ball of wax. For us smaller people, I paid $99 and tried this overnight and look what I built. It's not that way with the 500 person, 10,000 person organization, based on how I see it.
It is harder to turn a cruise ship than it is to turn a small speedboat or a dinghy or something like that. And I think that that's true when it comes to anything, new technologies or whatever. You get these big companies, and integrating AI like company wide, yeah, that's going to be very tough. But on a individual level, yeah, okay, so the coding team, maybe they can integrate a little bit more AI, and the marketing team, they could integrate this AI. And so for the big companies, case by case would probably be a little bit better to integrating the AI. It's still going to be tough because you got to put it through legal, you have to put it through all of these channels, where a small business owner goes, oh yeah, here, I'll sign up for that. Oh, hey, now I got a dancing picture of a monkey holding my product going, yay, I love it. That's
And
just,
Leland, to
that's
your
just the
point,
nature of the beast.
and I think, Leland, that's, I don't know if Brent was bringing that totally up, but I think that's where I was leaning to what you're saying. I mean, it's like I'm learning this more. Again, Brent and Shashi are in this more enterprise space, but as I step into some new areas, things I'm doing, it's a whole nother ball of wax. And think of the systems and processes. One of the integrators I was talking to said we took like half a year to map out the legacy CRM before we could even move it. I mean, that's a half a year of not implementation. That's just studying to understand what they're doing. Whole nother ball of wax. John Lawson or even or Shashi, somebody, please ask.
I can go next. Thank you, Ramon, for that subliminal message.
Say you're welcome.
I think small businesses are solving problems, and they don't care if it is AI or anything else. Like Tejas said, there's a lot of pressure, a lot of investment without realizing what it is for in enterprises. So the savvy ones are trying to say, like, what do we need to do to change everything, not to solve like today's problems, but the future problems. So the investment for small businesses is also not very high. and they already have these problems that AI can solve. I will repeat John's example of like, hey, I need to take everything in a spreadsheet and do something, or scan a PDF document and do something. These are all irritants that small businesses go through every time, right? So it's easier for them to adopt and use it and solve their problems. Yesterday, I was at a conference by a company called Poly.ai. I think the keynote was, she said something that was very interesting. She said, are you doing AI or are you using AI? And I think the difference was like, are you just saying like, hey, I need to use AI, I need to create some nice, good looking emails, or are you thinking about it like I need to solve problems for the future? A good way of looking at it. That's my view.
Do we always have to ask John for his opinion when it comes to AI?
What's the question?
What did you think of what you heard? That was the question.
AI is
What's the
great.
difference between the enterprise implementation and the small business?
I really don't get the conversation. Honestly, I swear. I'm sitting here and I'm just like, I don't understand the question. I don't understand.
I asked you your opinion on what Tejas said.
I know.
That's a very easy question.
No, I don't understand the question you asked Tejas. I don't get it. What's the difference between, that's like, what's the difference between corporate iPhones and personal iPhones?
I have an answer for that too.
Tools.
I can go for an hour on that.
I don't get it.
I asked it because.
Well, what's the answer,
Ramon? I asked. Wait a minute. Let me just straighten this out before Ramon goes in this.
No, go ahead.
I asked it because this is an actual company that deals with millions of small, 1 to 2 business, and they also deal with huge enterprises.
Right.
Oh, I'm not talking about
not just theoretically.
What are you confused about?
Not just theoretically. They do it day and day. They hear from customers.
No, I'm asking you. What makes you ask that question?
Because this is somebody who actually, these companies. This is not a theory here. These folks deal with millions of small businesses and large enterprises every day. So I asked them, "What's the difference? What are they?"
John, let me. Brent.
He doesn't get my question.
Please,
don't fight.
I don't understand the question. Like I said, I still don't understand.
Oh Lord, can you hit the mute button even for these two people, please?
I can know.
Brent's job is to ask these questions, as I know you know. That is simple. His job is to ask these questions. He is the voice of us, of the clients and people he works with, to pull out from them. And I think it's a valid question. That's why
I don't think it's a valid question. That's why I don't have an answer.
Yeah, but
I don't understand the question. And that's why I'm asking him that.
All right, let's just move on. Everybody else seemed to get it, but okay. Did you get a chance?
Here's the thing. All right, I'll give you my answer. My answer, there's no difference. A hammer is a hammer. It doesn't matter. The difference is who you put it in that person's hand. It's not the hammer's different. There's no different AI for small business.
But that's what we're asking.
I didn't ask if there was a different AI.
I'm answering. Hello, I'm answering.
I don't understand. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God.
But John, that's what he was asking about the hammer example. He wasn't saying the hammer's not the hammer. The hammer in the hand of my buddy Lorenzo, who's got all kind of issues and all this. He's putting the bathroom together. It may work. It may not. The hammer with Pookie Mama, it's going to be a beautiful $1 million bathroom.
Back to Pookie,
but it's the same hammer, right?
Yeah, but that wasn't.
But it's not the same. It's not the same problem. That's why I was asking.
Correct.
Well, there you go. Now that would be a different question.
That was the absolute same question.
I didn't get that as the question.
Oh my!
I didn't get.
All right, what do you think? Even what do you think? Please, Even save us.
But don't talk about Pookie Mama. Don't go there.
I'm not going to say anything about Pookie Mama. I'm going to give a practical example, right? And it applies to what Zoho was talking about. And I have to agree with John, my friend.
Oh no! Don't do that.
I know it, but I got to.
He'll jump on you.
I'm not. I respect Ivana. I want to hear from her. She will not get a mic drop off of this, but let's go ahead.
I don't know if there could be a mic drop, but this past week I wrote an article on DIYmarketers.com about Zoho's AI, and I said it was small but mighty. Mm-hmm. And in this case, I'm talking about how Zoho specifically featured AI inside of very practical applications, right? Inside of like Zoho Sign, you upload your agreement and you ask it questions like what are the terms and what is it missing and so on and so forth. These are practical small business applications. Zoho's new AI inside their email system is going to clean your email. It's going to find those most likely customers or prospects who are emailing you and make it easy for you to find those people and move them into your CRM. This, in my opinion, is what a small business uses AI for. And I'm, as a marketing person, I'm a little hurt that you guys are dissing on the brainstorming and the content creation and all of that stuff, right? This is where small business owners really need help. Really. They are not even close. They are like, I don't know how many AI years we want to talk about here, but they are a couple, what would you call it? Phases out from where these enterprise organizations are. And if you will excuse me, and I mean just a little bit of disrespect to the C-level people in these big enterprise organizations, as I said before, thinking like AI is going to replace everybody. Let's just fire them now. Now they're hiring them back, right? So we are on that Gartner hype curve, right? And we have hit the we're excited, right? We're excited about AI. It's got possibilities. We're not quite at the top. We're kind of implementing, and now we're like, oh, I think we need help. To Ramon's wonderful point, 6 months of analysis, because that's what it takes to do it right. So I don't know if you guys got that, but I think the small business application of AI is way more pragmatic, kind of mundane, but you know, for those people who have 10,000 emails in their inbox that they have not cleaned out, this is a valuable tool.
Okay. I really appreciate that. You talked beautifully about some small business use cases, and I totally agree. That's why I asked the question to Tejas, because they have millions of small business customers and millions of enterprise level customers. How do they view it differently? The first thing he said was they're both clueless, which is right, because everybody's clueless.
Tejas would say that sounds like.
Well, of course, it was funny the way he said it, but basically he said, "Yeah, we're all still He said we're all still clueless." Then that said, he started going into the differences based on what he sees and what Zoho is seeing, and that's the only reason I asked the question. I wanted to hear from companies that are servicing all levels of business, all large size, all geographies, all kinds of industries. What's the difference? Is there any difference at all? That's why I asked the question.
Well,
Brent, as expected. Go ahead, Ivana, please.
Excuse me. I'm just going to say this real quick. So, Brent, to that point, right? A few months ago, Zoho launched their AI agents that we just got access to. Can I tell you, I have been in that space, and I'm like, I clearly this is an enterprise thing. Like I can't even begin to figure out how to use it. Whereas the other things I talked about seemed like much more understandable and accessible to me because I'm in the gifted class, right? Like I push where it says pull.
You've been drinking too many 40s there, even. I tell you, you need to step away from the 40s. That's all. I didn't mean to start a war. I was literally curious when I asked that question because this is a company that has so many different kinds of businesses that they service. What are the differences when it comes to AI? That's all. That was
Ramon's got a mic drop. Go, Ramon.
No. I just was saying, I think this is good. I mean, as one of the second best analysts on this whole platform right here, Brent, you asked a great question that needed to be asked. So it was good.
Shashi, what do you have to say?
It's a confusing space. So whatever clarity we can get, whichever way, I think it's a good thing.
He's in DC, folks. That is the political answer of all time.
Such a smooth Wow, Shashi.
All right, Leland, you've been sitting there pretty quiet, or just couldn't get a word in edgewise. I don't know which one it is. What
No,
are your thoughts?
I had the ship analogy, so I mean, I
Oh,
get
that's
it. And AI is one of those things where it's new and it's ever changing. And so yeah, when Tejas says, "Oh, they don't know nothing," both enterprise and the small businesses, it's like, yeah, because tomorrow it's going to be all different. So everything that they did know is now out the window, and you have to learn everything new again. So it's like, yeah, I get it.
And you know what we all get? We get to leave because it's top of the hour. Woo! Oh, wait a minute. But Pierre comes in. All right, let's see what Pierre says before we get out of here. I think as context engineering picks up, yeah, that's another key phrase. I'm hearing a lot more context engineering and agentic enterprises, but I digress. AI providers will get better at articulating the business value even it talks about.
Well done, even Pierre. That was a mic drop. If I may, am I allowed, Brent? Is that okay? Can I give him a mic drop on that?
Yes.
Thank you, Pierre. Mic drop.
Pierre, say thank you to Ramon in the comment section, and we're good to go. All right. We have mercifully reached the end of this episode of Small Business. All right. Last, I'm almost afraid to say this. Parting thoughts. Who wants to go first?
John, go, John.
Let me go first. Have a great weekend, everybody. And really, if AI is confusing you, just wait till we get to robotics.
Physical AI is just around the corner.
Tag me.
Matter of fact, if you go to San Francisco right now, when I was out there, they were saying there's almost as many driverless cars driving on the streets of San Francisco as there are people driving, which is, and it's not just Waymo, it's Zoox, it's Rivian, it's all these.
But I love the Waymo, Brent. The Waymo is, I love it. I would put my kid, my child, my blind grandmama, I'd put all of them in there. No problem at all. I love the Waymo. It drives so well. I like it. It's smooth.
Oh, okay, cool. Has anybody else done that? Because I haven't gotten in one.
Yeah, I did it. It was interesting.
John,
would
why
you do it again?
Positive, John. Why you say interesting? It wasn't great. It wasn't like wonderful.
No, you know what? Here's what it did. I'm used to being dropped off. Like if it's a Uber, it'll go. The Uber driver will go around the corner and make sure he drops me off in front of the building. Where this Waymo took me a block before, and it was different. And I was like, I didn't know where I was. It let me out, and I'm like,
it won't double park and put you right in the right spot. It'll because it's like safety first. I get you,
but so that was weird. I had to get used to that part.
But I know time is short. Can you tag me, John, so I can go next, please?
Yes, Ramon, you go. I gotta run.
Okay, cool.
Bye, guys.
We'll see you, John.
Bye.
Listen, as you all know, I'm just excited to ask people to be safe in what all of this you do, whether it's AI, whether it's your websites, whether blogs and all these things. Be safe in what you do. Brent goes home at night. One thing he does when he gets home, locks the door of his house. Josh, he leaves his car. I guarantee, boop, boop, he locks his car. So my question, my admonition to all of us today, make sure you're secure. And please check out bitdefender.com/Ramon. Check it out and make sure your small business is secure with Bitdefender. Leland, please go.
I like what Shashi has right there at the bottom of his name tag. It's lifelong learner, and as a small business owner, especially with advent of AI and all this stuff, you are going to be a lifelong learner on how to run your business, how to continue to improve upon your processes, customer service, as Ivana pointed out earlier. And that's the element of being a small business owner. You're constantly going to be evolving to improve, to give a better product. And, that, especially with AI, go in, learn new tasks. What's the new thing coming out? How can this help my small business? How can this help my customers? Do it. Shashi.
Great. Hey, had a great time this week with interviewing Brent. It was places that actually switched. So this was on the Talking Headless show with Christine Randall and Brent. It was really great. You guys should check out the episode if you can. Yeah. So have a great week, everyone. Over to you, Ivana.
I do. I want to reiterate this whole thing because of my recent shopping experience. Please don't let the numbers that you see, whether it is tariffs that are increasing your costs and forcing you to increase price, or whether it's inflation, or whatever it is that's causing you to worry and stress, that's a sign to increase customer service. Like back to what Leland was saying, what we're all saying, look at the softer ways that you can provide value to your customer because they are out there.
That was short and sweet. I give it a
Just a little, like a
Uh-oh. Ramon is not willing to give you it. You can see by his face.
It's the same old. Ramon, I completely. You know how I measure a mic drop? This is how I measure a mic drop. When someone other than me, or you see a face or whatever, and some other person's like, "Whoa!"
Correct.
Right? Wouldn't you agree, my friend?
But right, Brent was, he was like a little something. He wanted to give you something we didn't
Yeah,
develop.
and
More than a
that's
mic drop,
okay.
so he didn't know what else to say in English.
But in honor of what you just said, even I'm taking the mic drop back.
Okay, that I cannot do. I'm a human being.
Yes.
I'm not always the sharpest tool in the shed, but I'm not rusting either. But some days
It's good. Maybe a 40 a day. That'll keep you sharp.
that would keep you entertained.
Yeah, that would definitely keep me entertained. All right, folks.
Brent,
So
thanks for being a good host, brother. It was nice to be here. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And thanks to Shashi for inviting me on his show and allowing me to say all the stuff I said about Prince, which apparently a lot of Prince fans are out there, which is great. But more than anything else, I hope everybody that joined us, Pierre, shout out to you for joining us again. Anybody else who's out there listening, thank you for joining us. We will be back next Friday, because if it's Friday at noon Eastern, it's us. It's us. We'll see you then.
Thanks, Brent. See y'all later.
Bye, everyone.